Hello YouTube, today we're looking at the new Transformers Earthrise War for Cybertron Trilogy Deluxe Class Sunstreaker. And this is a figure I've been looking forward to a lot. Him and Trailbreaker from the third wave of Deluxes in the new Earthrise line. Here's that typical Earthrise artwork we've been getting on all the packages. Really cool little layout of the scene of the Ark crashing into Earth. On the other side, we have this really nice artwork of Sunstreaker here. Very cool. And then on the back, you just have two simple images, two simple product shots of Sunstreaker in his vehicle mode and in his robot mode. Alright. So, the map doesn't really have much to it. It's just kind of like some lines. Just 4 lines going across the map. So here we are. There is the new Earthrise Sunstreaker, and this thing looks really nice. It looks really cool. The yellows aren't spot on perfect with each other, but they do match. If you've ever seen in person the original Generation 1 figure of Sunstreaker, they do match the colors on that very well. So here he is in his kind of Lamborghini Countach vehicle mode. Rolls amazingly. Like, this is one of the best rolling figures I've gotten this year so far. Looks great. And here he is next to his brother Sideswipe from the Siege line, custom painted, but nonetheless I think they look pretty good. They complement each other very well. So pulling Sideswipe out of the picture, you can take a look at some of the details on Sunstreaker. You have these really nicely molded and painted headlights here in silver. You got this black line across the front, the side, really nice yellow across there. Some decent paint work on the back. Basically it's black plastic with the yellow paint, and it's pretty cleanly done. There's what looks like a little bit of a scuff right here, but nothing major. This piece does come off. It is a separate accessory, and it comes separate in the package. Or no, it doesn't come separate in the package. It's attached to his back in the package. But you pull that off and you get some pretty cool details back here. It would have been nice if these were painted silver, but I see why they, there's already quite a bit of paint on this figure, on the inside of the windshield, on the outside, all this yellow paint. And then this is completely painted over, silver painted over black plastic. I do think they might have been able to expend some paint here, but it's not hateful. And I mean, it's covered up by this anyway, so it's not too bad. Looking at the bottom, fairly clean. It's basically a retool of the Wheeljack figure. Heavily retooled version of that figure. You can see like his head back here, his hands are there, and then these are his shins, crotch, and then he has some faux headlights right here for his feet, but you can pretend they're like, I don't know, fog lights or something. But like I said, he rolls really nicely. I like his wheels. They did it really nicely where they're the clip-on pinned wheels, but they don't, kind of like with how they did this. It doesn't stand out too much. They're not huge gaps in the sides, or like, the garish wheels, like that on that mold, or this one here. Or it's just a completely hollow. I think they did these wheels really nicely. Let me see the size of the wheels in comparison. Yeah, they're not, you can't like swap them, so you couldn't like buy a second of this one and swap the wheels to give like the Siege version of Sideswipe more Earth-like wheels. Getting down to transformation, this guy is basically, it's the same as Wheeljack, but with a couple extra steps, and then a few changes. So like on Wheeljack, where the sides here would pop out and become the forearms, on him you want to come back here and pull out the rear bumper, and then you can flip out his hands at this point. Okay, then you want to come to the sides now and pull them out, and those are his shoulders. This can stay on the whole time. You don't have to take it off or anything. It does rotate for his robot mode, so that it kind of pokes up behind his head. You want to bring his head up, and then rotate here. So next you're going to kind of get your fingernail under here. It pegs in very securely if you have it pegged in correctly. Sometimes you kind of just have to pop this apart to get it undone. And then bring this up, and that will tab into place. That's not secure there. That tabbing isn't secure like it is on Wheeljack. But like the tolerances are tight enough, it's not going to just flop around. Alright, so now you're here. You can go ahead and extend the legs. And then rotate again at the waist. Come down here to the feet. You're going to pull them kind of up. They're on a double hinge, so it's here and here. And so it's like that, locked into place. You're going to pull it kind of up like this, and then move those two hinges in tandem to get that flush. And then this panel will come down and form the heel, which is very smart engineering. And just do that on the other side as well. Pull out the foot, flip out the heel, and you want to just rotate his arms down and rotate his elbows so they're oriented correctly. And here we have Earthrise Sunstreaker in his really cool robot mode. And this guy looks really good. A lot of people don't like just the square chest, but I actually do enjoy that look very much. I think he looks fantastic, and while I'm going to transform Sideswipe real quick off camera so that I can do a size comparison between the two Lamborghini brothers that's been long awaited. Alright, so here is Sideswipe with his brother Sunstreaker, and I think they look great. I think they look good together. Yeah, I think they look really good together. The proportions aren't too terrible in comparison. Like, he does have like these arms that are kind of long, but like it's not too terrible. It's not like how long it seemed on Wheeljack. They do seem to be a little bit better proportioned, and even so, you can kind of, if you wanted to, lift his shoulders up to that looks terrible. Never mind, I said that. But anyway, he looks really good. Has some nice heroic proportions to him. His thighs seem to be, you know, kind of the right length for his legs. He can't like kneel very well, like let's see, like his thighs seem way too long. His thighs seem a bit better proportioned, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he actually has the better proportions because he can like kneel better, but his foot gets in the way. So anyway, articulation wise, this guy is basically the same articulation as Wheeljack had. So the head's on a ball joint and it rotates all the way around. The arms are on swivel here, and then they're on a hinge right here, so it works like a universal. It has a rotation at the bottom of the bicep there, which is a good place for it, I feel. No, it's not like up here breaking up the sculpt. Has a 90-degree elbow bend, and it couldn't go any further because of transformation. And then like his hands, his wrists can move in and out like this, if that serves any purpose for you. Rotates at the waist really nicely, 360, nothing gets in the way. He can kick that far forward, and he can kick that far back, so full Monty. And these joints are nice and tight. Like, these hip joints are nice and tight. They're almost so tight they feel like they're almost ratcheted. But I know they're not. They're just friction. The full Van Damme. Nicely done. He has some swivels here. It's a bit hollow here. This is kind of necessary for the transformation, but this is it's just a little bit garish. If they could have like had some of these molded pieces out a little bit further, it probably look quite a bit better. It wouldn't be too bad. Knee bend 90 degrees, pretty nice. His toe can move forward, and the heel can move back if you need it to. Like, let's see if I can get him in a good kind of walking pose. Kind of a running pose. Here we go. And you know, the toe can move with these double hinges however you need it to. So if for some reason he needs to be like skidding into action or something, just I don't know. And then he's got a really nice it nearly goes all the way around. Like, that's just about all the way around for his ankle rockers. So that I'm gonna give an A++ to. That's pretty cool. So you have no issue having his feet flat on the ground, no matter how far his legs are apart. It's like you can have them all the way apart, and you can have his feet flat on the ground, like perfectly flat. Really cool. So I know everybody wants to see the sideswipe comparison, so you know, there he is with sideswipe again. Here he is with Earthrise Optimus Prime, the Voyager figure. Here he is with Earthrise Blue Streak, who I have not yet reviewed. I'm waiting for I want to wait for my Prowl to show up. And here he is with his wave mate, Trailbreaker. You kind of get a little group shot of some of the first season Autobots. Pretty cool. And the car scale is great with these guys. These Earthrise and Siege figures, the car scaling is about perfect because they were all about the same height. So it works out that, you know, they're all about the same height in the car class. And then there's like the upper, like the truck and van class, like Ratchet and Ironhide and Trailbreaker and Hoist, who are more closer to a mid Voyager deluxe scaling. And then you got your Voyager sized figures, which are a bit bigger. being your leaders like Optimus and Megatron, larger characters like Astro Train and the Decepticons, Starscream and all the Seekers. So that works out a lot to me, just that scaling. So yeah, really cool figure. I definitely recommend picking him up because he is great. I do wish he had a nut, like a handgun, like a rifle or something that he could use. Like here he is with the gun that came with the Red Alert figure that I've painted up. I painted it silver and I gave it to, you know, Sideswipe so he can have both his rocket launcher and his flamethrower, and then also his jetpack thanks to the Centurion weapons pack, which you can see I've got him holding his radar dish. My next review will be Trailbreaker, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be pretty cool. He's going to be compared with his mold mate Hoist, so you can kind of see the differences as well as the similarities between the molds. But as for Sunstreaker, great figure, definitely recommend. He's different enough from Wheeljack that he feels like a different figure. He also looks great with his brother, as well as the rest of the Autobot cast. So this guy's starting to pop up in stores now. I bought mine online at BigBadToyStore.com. So that's definitely a good source for figures. There's other online retailers you can use, such as Amazon, eBay, and like TF Source, but do be wary of pricing. These guys are being scalped currently, so people are buying up a large multitude of them and reselling them for higher prices. But definitely, if you want these guys, the best bet is to go online to like Big Bad Toy Store, pick them up. Or if you like the hunt, like I said, they are starting to show up in some retail locations like Target and Walmart. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and until next time, till all are one.